Well, let's talk about the most important news right off the get, and that is Alex Anzalone and Khalif Raymond. They are back, like officially back. And I'm sure you guys have already gone through this yesterday, but the Detroitlions have officially removed Alex Anzalone and Khalif Raymond from the injured reserve list, and they added them to the active roster. That is big news for this game because there's still an outside chance that Anzalone is going to get in. So week 11, obviously, Alex broke his forearm while making a tackle against the Jaguars, and he's been on injured reserve ever since, or at least until yesterday. Now, this week, when the Detroit Lions opened up his practice window, they quickly activated him just after 3 practices. Now, we've heard what Alex has said this week, and, he was kind of giving credit, or at least a decision to the trainers, the doctors, the team. Initially they gave him a 6 to 8 week recovery window. And matter of fact, today is week 7. So he's kind of right in between where they thought he would be. I don't know if Dan was just joking around on the podium the other day. I think he was kind of caught off guard with a question that was asked about Alex. And then he said that, he passed the handstand test and something else. I couldn't tell if he was joking or if that was a legit test that they do to test the forearm. I have no idea. Have not reached out to any physical therapist or anything to see if that is a legit thing that they do. Kind of interesting. But either way, it was kind of funny. So anyway, Anzalone said that, between Dan Campbell, obviously the coaches, the doctors, they would all collaborate on this decision that needs to get made. And of course himself, how is he feeling? Here's his quote. He says, "It's exciting. I think it's an exciting time to be a Detroit Lion. These are the moments that you really dream about as a player. It doesn't get any better than this. I know Dan Campbell alluded to that, but this is all you could ask for. An in-division game for the division championship for the number 1 seed, and it's going to be fun to see." Now, obviously, during practice this last week, Alex was wearing this removable carbon fiber brace. And many weeks ago, I'm sure everybody knew this anyway, I figured that he would have something on. He would be wearing some sort of a brace, when he comes back, just to protect himself from getting re-injured, in the first game that he comes back in, which hopefully is tonight. So likely that he'll be wearing this again tonight and for the rest of the season, to be honest. Now, Anzalone's back on the 53, but it does still appear that between the team and Anzalone and the doctors, that they're still kind of weighing, the pros and cons here. Does he play tonight? Does he not play tonight? Here's a quote from Alex. He said, "Obviously, the doctors and trainers, they go through what the risks are, waiting a week, waiting 2 weeks, going through practice, maybe letting it spin next week or the week after that or this week." So I think for me personally, I think it's like, okay, say if something did happen, would I be okay not playing in the Super Bowl? So I think that's kind of the decision I have to make in my own head. And is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we get to the Super Bowl without Alex playing. I don't know if our linebackers can take another week like we just went through. And the week before, it's been rough for the linebacker group. So I just don't know if we're going to get there without Alex, settling this linebacker group down and getting them playing at a better level. No indictment against Jack. He's played great, but when you're thin and you're trying to make up for a lot of losses this season, I mean, let's just be honest. There's no other team on the planet right now that has gone through what the Lions have gone through that are in the position that the Lions are in at 14-2, playing for everything tonight. There's no other team that's gone through that. Now, Dan Campbell did note that Alex is still adjusting and learning to just kind of trust his body, where he said that the only way to trust it is to do it. You need to use it and do it and bang away in there. You've just got to rep it. You've got to rep it a little bit, get comfortable. Like, man, that was a pretty violent hit and I didn't feel anything. Or, oh, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And that becomes a mental thing. Listen, if he's going to play, it's because we know he's going to be able to go full tilt and he's going to be able to help us and he's going to be able to protect himself, play at a high level, and we can trust that we are not putting him in harm's way. And if I feel, or if we feel, or if we don't feel that way, we are going to play him. Then we're not going to play him. It's just not worth it. And that's the same thing that I said about JMO and any other injury that we've gone up against, from an opponent. Like when they're coming back from these injuries, it's not like they're just ready to go bang away first week. Usually it's a very limited pitch count for these guys. They have to figure it out for themselves and get over the mental part of it. That is the biggest part of this game right now, especially with injuries. When you're coming back from an ACL, Achilles, anything, it's learning to trust your body again. It's learning to trust how you cut again. But for a guy that has to make his money by tackling, big guys that are running with the ball, you've got to be able to trust your body again. And that's a big part of it. So I'm hoping that we see Alex tonight, but it certainly appears that the Lions are planning on keeping his game status a little close to the vest. They're not going to give us too much information, but we will know around 6 p.m. tonight when the inactives are rolling out what exactly is going to happen. The next guy is Khalif Raymond. This one's a little bit quicker here, but Raymond he injured his hamstring during the Colts game. And it was the week after that, roughly, that Anzalone went down. So Raymond spent about 4 weeks on IR, and then he returned to practice fairly quickly, and the Lions opened his injury window. And Raymond actually has completed 6 practices since then. So he's been full go for 6 full practices, which is good. So I'm expecting to see Raymond tonight. Absolutely, without a doubt. And the reason why is because we released Tom Kennedy. If we didn't release Tom Kennedy, I would not expect to see Raymond tonight at all. Matter of fact, I'm just expecting him to get in and reassume his position as the punt and kick returner, which, we've been missing out big time since he's been out. We were getting really good field position just about every week. And since he's been gone, it's kind of been next to nothing. And it's sorely missed, in the special teams unit when you can't get the offense good field position or have the confidence that you can